Hello again, hope you're all doing well. My name is James Fox and I'm a support officer with Scout in Ireland. I'm doing this quick video to go through the step-by-step guide on how to register your Scout group with the charities regulator. If your group is not at this stage yet, I've also done a video on the registration pack that you might want to check out first. In this video, I'm going to go through the quick process of creating an account with the charities regulator and then go through the step-by-step guide that was in the pack that was sent out to all groups on the 11th of November. While also highlighting any pitfalls that some already registered groups and the charity regulator have identified. In this video, I will be screen sharing the website, also the online portal, and also the PDF guide document. So hopefully they'll all be visible to everyone. The first step that we'll go through is creating an account on the charities regulator's portal account accessed through the website. So if you just bear with me, I'm just going to screen share their website. So hopefully you see it up there now. So this is their basic website, the charities regulator, and you can see a lot of information for different charities and guides and around the governance code and that. Something we'll go through maybe at a later stage. In the top right hand corner here, you'll see the login, and if you press that, this brings you to a page on the website that you can log in to the online portal. So if you click this, it brings you up to this website here. It brings you to this page here. And if you've already created an account, you can sign in with using your login name and your password. Both of these things you've created yourself. If you haven't actually created an account, just go to the bottom here and you can just click create. And it brings you to a quick page of literally putting in a username, which is your login name, your password as well, and the confirmed password, and then your name, first name, last name, and the email address that will be used for the correspondence. Now this could be the group leader or the group secretary or whatever the group council have decided who this person is going to be. This can obviously be changed at a later stage and that kind of stuff as well, if this email address changes or if this person changes. And at the bottom, then you press register. When you register, it should be a quick enough process, and you get an email coming back from the charities regulator with a link to follow so you can activate the account. And then when the account is activated, this activation should only take a couple of minutes or even 10, 15 minutes on that. If it is a couple of days before you hear back from the charities regulator, let me know and we'll check it on our end with the charities regulator just in case the account wasn't created or it has slipped between stools or something like that. Okay, if you can let me know. So once you can log into the portal, you'll see something like this. So you'll see a number of things on the left-hand side here, dashboard, new filing, my filings, messages. This is the portal that the charities regulator use to communicate with their charities and to look at their applications and anything that has changed with the charity and that. So when you submit an application, you get a message in through this portal, but you'll also get a message to the email address that you've registered with them. So to start a new filing, to create a new filing, click this button here. And this box over here pops up. So we're looking for a new charity rather than an existing charity, and the filings for charity registration application. And if you click that for start, this is the first page of the application, which is the introduction. I'm now actually going to switch to the PDF document rather than going through the application itself. And the PDF document has all the screenshots of the different pages. So I'm going to share that document with you now. So hopefully you can see that there now. So we would recommend that you read this guide thoroughly before and while filling in the application. There's a number of things that could be missed when you're filling in the application, and it saves then the charities regulator going back to the group asking for more information. Everything that they need should be within this document. If you do have any questions, though, please ask your support officer or email the email address there, charityregistration@scouts.ie. There's also a number of things here that we're given recommended answers. Answers slightly not what were recommended, then I advise you maybe send an email to the charity that email address as well, and also maybe to your support officer to see just how we can get past those things. So as I went through already is create filing, and so we can start that process, and it brings you to the introduction page that we saw a minute ago. That's pretty much just going through the registration process. So at the bottom of the page, you click next, brings you to page 2, which is the details of your charity or your group. So the type of organization is association, so it's unincorporated. And the name of your organization, so you enter the name of your group as it appears in the database. So this is outlined like the number, the county, the local area, or the chosen name, and then Scout group after it. So an example of this is Third Mon and Cartman Cross Scout group. It's important to obviously include Scout group because that's the full title of your name of your group and your charity, but also that the charities regulator can find the group. So the groups for Scout in Ireland have been streamlined into a process, so they kind of search Scout group, and that's where they come up. And that, so if you're not putting in Scout group, then they may not be able to find you and that kind of stuff as well. And so the next question is then the other names, and there shouldn't be, I suppose, any other names of your group. If there is, then maybe send us an email. Enter the date the Scout group started, so the year and the date or approximate date if it's a while back that you're not sure when that started, of when the group started. And yeah, so where was it established? So it should be Republic of Ireland. You leave the other registrations blank. The C or CHY number is no. The CHY number you used before would have been Scout in Ireland and not actually the individual group's number. So leave that as no. For the revenue as well, leave as no. And for the regulations, so there's a drop down option here for the regulation, and so we're recommended that you put in TUSLA because they have asked for a number of things over the years, and they'll probably going forward might ask for more things. Another thing that has cropped up over going through the first tier of groups actually was that because some bodies look for receipts after they give grants to groups like the ETBs, the Education and Training Boards, or county councils, then they need to be included in this as well. So any body, I suppose, national or local body that asks for receipts after they award any grants needs to be included in that. And so that's the second page, and then you can click next. So third page is the purpose. So this is kind of the purpose of the charity. This is where the group constitution comes in and that kind of stuff as well. So it asks you to upload your governing document, which is your group constitution, and then it asks you to insert the aim. So that's actually stated in the group constitution. So it's kind of pretty much taken directly straight from the constitution, and that's the aim of the Scout group is, and it outlines the charitable purpose, and there's a drop down option. So the option that you have to click is any other purpose is of benefit to the community, and that brings us down to another option. And after that, kind of a second tier or second subheading, let's say, and that kind of stuff. And this also has a drop down option, and that option you have to click is the promotion of civic responsibility or volunteer work. And then that actually gives another subheading, the promotion of civic responsibility and volunteer work. And then you click from the drop down box is the promotion of good citizenship. Then it goes into public benefit. And once again, it's the aim of the Scout group, which is taken from the group constitution, where it takes place. So in the Republic of Ireland. And also then the counties that it takes place as well. So I suppose the counties where the group's main events happen. So some groups could could straddle a number of counties, so just you can insert a number of counties in that as well. And so the next question is, how does your organization achieve its objectives? And that's providing direct services. So it provides the service of scouting directly to its members. In the next one then is please provide a short summary of your activities or planned activities. And this is, I suppose, individual to each group because it's an estimated number of meetings, activities and camps for the coming year. And what we put in here is for a normal scouting year. Obviously, 2020 has been an abnormal and unprecedented year. And obviously, maybe some camps and activities didn't take place. So it would be kind of, in general, this is what your summary of activities kind of takes place every year and that. And then the next bit is to upload your group strategic and business plan. So this is already kind of outlined in the pack and what that needs to be. And this is uploaded here. Next question is then who benefit from your organization's work. And obviously it's a drop-down option and it's the members. So the direct members of the organization will benefit from the work. And then it asks you how the membership is, the criteria is for the membership. And this is included in your membership policy. Now you can't upload the membership policy here. So what we've suggested is that you just put in the box, say, see attached to group's membership policy, and we'll attach the policy at the end of the application. Does your organization charge a membership fee? And that would be yes. And then it kind of asks for a description of the fees identified above. So the group's fee is whatever it may be per member per year, which includes affiliation to Scouting Ireland and a number of things. So the pack goes through this in a little bit more detail. And if you want, I suppose, more examples, you could ask the support officer or email to that charityregistration@scouts.ie, where I'll go into a bit more detail if you're finding it difficult to kind of outline exactly what's that for. But I suppose it's asking you just to describe the fees in the fee in that as well. Another part of that as well then is, does your group offer concessions? And I suppose most groups do offer some kind of concessions to whether it's to the one family that's in the group and that kind of stuff as well. And this is outlined in the group's concessions policy. And this is uploaded at the end actually of the application as well. So if you put in there in the box, just see attached to group's concessions policy, which can be uploaded at the end. So then the next one is beneficiary selection policy. And this is actually this kind of beneficiary selection policy is included in the membership policy. We've kind of put the two of them together, which we've cleared, I suppose, with the charities regulator and that, so they're happy enough with that. So you put in again just to see attached to group's membership policy, which we upload at the end of the application. Does your organisation activities include working with vulnerable people? This is a yes, because young people, as in non-adults, are categorised as vulnerable people. So that's it. That's a yes for every group. And then it asks you to upload a number of policies for this. So because we work with young people, it's the group safeguarding statement, the group safeguarding risk assessment, and the safeguarding policy, which at the minute obviously is the Scouting Ireland's Code of Good Practice. So this Code of Good Practice is available on the website, and if you need us to send you a copy, just ask. The group safeguarding statement and group safeguarding risk assessment, the group should have locally. If they don't, let us know. If you're finding it hard to find it, let us know, because we have a copy of it as well, so we can route it out our end. So if you're having difficulty locating that, let us know and we'll get it to you. And then please provide the name of the organisation who carries out the guard of evidence on your behalf. So that's Scouting Ireland. Okay, so when you've done that, click next after saving the draft at the bottom of the page. So you click save draft and then click next. So the page 4 is the contacts. Excuse me. So this is pretty much enter the address, details of the group's primary meeting place. So if it's a school or Scout Den, or wherever the main kind of activities happen, let's say, and that kind of stuff as well. So the boxes actually can be pre-populated by adding in the AIR code in the address, the search address, or by actually adding in all the different lines individually. If they have any other address, so if the group has a second venue or maybe a campsite that they use, then include that there as well. Now, other contact information. So this is the person that will see the correspondence from the regulator. So probably the group leader, maybe the group secretary, or whoever the group council decides on this. So making sure to put that in. Then they're asking to include any social media kind of pages that the group use, or so like a Facebook page or a website and that kind of stuff as well. So make sure to include that all there. Click next at the bottom of the page, and then page 5 is the financial. So this is where you're adding in all your bank details and that as well. So the financial, it's asking you when the organizations or the groups next financial year end date, and that's the 31st of August. So you put in 31/08. Has your organizing commenced operations? Click yes, because you're already working away. Enter the group's previous year's income and expenditure. So this would be your accounts for September 2019 to August 2020. So it's the year that's just after going there, let's say. Has your organization transferred any fund abroad? It should be no. If your group has any employed in it, that's 0. And then that's asking to upload the group accounts. So that's your actual the accounts that you would have sent on to your county treasurer, and they would have sent on to Scout in Ireland. So they're the accounts that like the accounts sheet, let's say, on that Excel file. And then include copies of your business plan. So this is where you put in the group annual budget. We go through this in a bit more detail in the pack, but this is kind of your projections for the year of what you suspect you'll spend. Talking to the charities regulator, because of the year that's in it, it's recommended that you kind of put in, and I know your group counts would be slightly skewed for last year, because obviously maybe some groups weren't meeting for most of the year or from March onwards. But there is a caveat maybe in the annual budget document to say that these are the normal years kind of budgets or whatever and that stuff, but these could be reflected differently depending on the COVID restrictions and that as well. So we recommend that actually the group annual budget should be for a normal, in inverted commas, scouting year. How does your organisation plan to raise money? So this is drops down option again. So membership fees, fundraising events, and anything else that you deem necessary from the drop down options. Does your group have any property or the use of land or property? And click yes, because it use a scout hall, or it use actually a school and that stuff. So you have actually a physical use of a property, let's say, and that kind of stuff, even though you might not own the property or anything like that, you still have use of it. Does your organisation own the land or property? So this is either yes or no, depending on the group's circumstances. If it is yes, what we say is that probably in the group strategic plan, this should be included. So if you do have a campsite or a scout den, that obviously this should be kind of outlined in your group strategic plan, just stating that you own the den, and this is the income that we plan to get from the den, or there's no income and that stuff as well. It's just solely used for scout meetings. Or if you have a group campsite that you do actually use, that other groups do use, and you get a fee from, then that can be outlined in a strategic plan as well, that you charge a certain amount for non-group members. What is the land or property used for? So you can give a description of the scouting meetings, activities, camps, etc. Does your organisation use premises owned by a trustee or someone related to a trustee? So to click the appropriate option here if it's yes or no. If it is yes, then you'll probably need to give more information presenting the arrangement between the parties, between the group and that trustee or the relative of the trustee. Probably in your strategic plan, maybe in a separate document, depending on what the arrangement is, maybe in that kind of stuff as well. What we do recommend here, if that's the case, is to send an email to that email address, charityregistration@scouts.ie, or talk to your support officer and they'll be able to guide you. So at the bottom of the page, then click Save, Draft, and click Next. Page 6, Accounts. So does your organization have a bank or credit union account? This is yes. And then it asks you to add the account. So it gives out the details exactly what, if it's a bank account or a credit union account. Some groups have both, so you'll have to add it twice. You have to add a number of group bank accounts. That's grand. You can add each one. And then it kind of goes into different IBAN number, the BIC number, all that kind of stuff as well. So make sure you add all the details as presented. Make sure, I suppose, one thing that came back from the charities regulator is make sure that the details, letters, numbers, and spacings are entered correctly from the bank statement, that the I isn't, like a capital I isn't mistaken for a 1 or vice versa and that kind of stuff as well. So make sure you're putting them all in right. And so then you click Next at the bottom of the page. Page 7 then is the trustees, and ask you then what your government document states what your minimum is. Now, the actually group constitution doesn't state what the minimum is. It just states who are the trustees. But we recommended, and so is the charities regulator recommending, that the minimum is 3. And then you add trustees or whatever not. So when you click Add Trustees, it pops up a page that you actually put in the individual's name and that kind of stuff as well. I'll show you that in a minute. And then obviously there's also a place where you upload the signed declaration for each trustee. So when you click Add Trustee, this is the box that comes up. So it's all the different things. So it's individual, the title, the name, and their address. Once again, you can put into the search address their air code, and it should pre-populate the lines and that stuff, or you can add the lines as wanted. So that's all the different details that they're looking for: email address, phone number, the start date. So this is the start date of actually they signed the declaration, probably at a group council where everybody agreed to become a trustee. Is this person the chairperson of the board of the group council? So if they are, click yes, and if no, then click no. And then if they are a member of another trustee, so if they are, then you add the appropriate response there, and then you click Save and click Next at the bottom of the page. So page 8 is about connections, I suppose. So the conflict of interest maybe that may arise between trustees and that kind of stuff as well. So you've already the group has already gone through the conflict of interest policy within the group and making sure that anything has to be added there that is added, and then you upload the conflict of interest. And then it asks you any connections, so add any connections that the group needs to declare. So maybe here you'd add a small document or connection between the trustee or a relative of trustee that owns a property and that's being used by the group, and then you can upload the arrangement there, whether the fees that are paid to the owner of the property and that kind of stuff as well. So just if you're having any difficulty with that, just talk to your support officer or send an email to charityregistration@skype.ie. And then at the bottom of the page, click Next. And then page 9 is advisors. This probably isn't relevant for all groups. Maybe some groups it might be relevant, for most it won't be. So this is if the group uses external kind of advisors or fundraisers or that kind of stuff. So I'll just go through the questions anyway. Does your organization need the service of an external advisor? So click the appropriate answer. Pay a personal fundraiser or professional fundraising service. So you could see these sometimes on Grafton Street in Dublin, maybe next stuff. So where they pay the personal fundraiser and that kind of stuff as well. Most groups obviously wouldn't use that, but some groups might, I suppose, and that kind of stuff. So at the bottom of that page, then click Next. And then page 10 is the further information, and this is asking you to, if you have anything else to declare or to upload, then this is the place where you put it up. And this is where you can put up the group membership policy, the concessions policy, and if anything else that hasn't been uploaded already. Another thing we advise, or we ask groups to upload here, is the group charter, which was included in the pack. And this actually gives the charity regulator just an outline of the relationship between the group and Skype in Ireland and the agreements between them and that kind of stuff as well. So this lists actually the documents, all the documents that should be with the application. So you should actually see on this page with further information all these documents outlined. If there's some missing, then obviously you have to upload them here or upload them previously and that kind of stuff as well. So I'm just going to actually go through them quickly if that's okay. So it's the group constitution, the group charter, the group strategic and business plan, excuse me, the group accounts, which would be for previous year, 19 to 2020, group annual budget, the group safeguarding statement, the group's safeguarding risk assessment, the safeguarding policy, which is the code of good practice, the signed trustee declaration for each trustee, the group's conflict of interest policy, the group's concession policy, the group's membership policy, plus others if necessary. So if the group need to clarify any further information to the regulator that you've already kind of stated previously, then you could add it here. I know some groups had to put in a small document because they owned a campsite, and just kind of to give the relationship between the group and the campsite, what's the arrangement, I suppose, between the two entities and that kind of stuff as well. And so you click next, and then page 10 is the declaration. So you're pretty much kind of going through everything. It kind of goes through the whole application again, making sure everything is accurate and that kind of stuff. And then at the bottom, you declare that everything that, as far as you're concerned, is accurate and true. And then you click submit. And so just to reiterate, I suppose, or to the charities regulator will look at your application. You'll get an email first of all saying thank you for your application, we've received it, and then they'll take a certain amount of time to go through the application. And for most applications, if not all, there will be some back and forth a bit. You'll get an email saying the trustee declaration wasn't signed properly, or the date was wrong, or something like that, and that kind of stuff as well. And so that could be, they may need to come back. The group will need to come back to the charities regulator a bit with further information, or just a clarification over something like stuff. What will happen is the group will get an email through the email address that they've provided to the charities regulator, and also on the portal there'll be a message there and that kind of stuff. So that is done through the portal. To reply to the email, you kind of do it through the portal, so it's all logged there and that kind of stuff as well. If you are getting emails back and you're not sure how to answer them, then talk to your support officer, or send an email to the charity registration at Sky. We're here to support, and hopefully your application will be fairly straightforward and that kind of stuff as well. Okay, thank you very much for